Hello everyone, welcome back to this channel. We are studying class 9 science. In that, as a part of revision and completion of the full chapter, we are studying chapter 8 motion blue in text question. These blue questions are given inside while among the topics, and they are theoretical based as well as numerical based. So we will discuss today in this video about all those questions, right, in the whole chapter. So we shall start with the first question, that is, an object has moved through a distance. Can it have zero displacement? If yes, support your answer with an example. So we know that the answer is yes, because even after the object has moved, zero displacement is possible if suppose the object starts from a point and comes back to the original point after doing motion. Right, so if your starting and ending point is same, that means displacement is zero. An example, that when a runner completes one full round of a circular track, that even though he has moved, but the displacement is zero. Clear? Moving on to the second question. This one is little bit important, so please be focused on solution of this one. A farmer moves along the boundary of a square field of side 10 meter in 40 seconds. What will be the magnitude of displacement of the farmer at the end of 2 minutes and 20 seconds from his initial position? So first of all, there is a square field, let us name it as ABCD, right? And the side is 10 meter. In between, I have drawn the diagonal whose importance I will be telling you later on, right? So you see the farmer starts from A, goes to B, then C, then D, then A in 40 seconds. That means in 40 seconds he travels one perimeter of the square field, right? So this will be our hint. So first of all, the square field is of side 10 meter. We will start our numerical writing with the given. Farmer travels only the boundary, that means perimeter, that means 4 into 10 meter. AB 10, BC 10, CD 10 and AD or DA 10, that means 4 into 10, 40 meter he travels. Can we say that he travels 40 meter in 40 seconds, that means 1 meter in 1 second? This is just for a hint. Okay. Now he moves for 2 minute 20 seconds in total. That means 2 into 60, 120 plus 20, 140 seconds he moves. Right? But he moves, that means he completes the round. And don't forget that if he is completing one round, the total displacement will be ultimately 0. So what we will do, this 140 second, we will be dividing that into 40 so that after each round his displacement becomes 0. That means from 140, the first 40 he completes one round, so ultimately 0 displacement. The next 40 second another round, that means again 0 displacement. Next 40 second again one round, that means 0 displacement. So you see 40, 40 and 40, 120 seconds he has traveled, but again after each round his displacement becomes 0. He comes back to his original position, right? Now you see we only have 20 seconds left. That means the last 20 seconds he will be traveling like this, A to D, or suppose A to B and B to C. 10 second A to B, 10 second B to C. So finally he reaches from A after 20 second to C. Then what is the displacement? That means displacement is the shortest distance. Over here you can see AC is the shortest distance, right? That is our displacement. So in short, what we have to do, we have to find a hypotenuse. So let us apply the Pythagoras formula to find out AC. Let us take AD10 and CD10, or else AB10 and BC10, right? So let us see here from the figure, AC square, hypotenuse square, will be equal to AD square plus DC square. That means 10 square and 10 square. So 10 square will be 200. AC square is 200. So if you want to find out the displacement AC, you have to do the square root, and that is 10 root 2 meter. Clear? So this was a very nice question, very important for exam purpose, and here we have to apply more common sense than the scientific approach. Clear? So let us go for the next question. Which of the following is true for displacement? The first case is it cannot be zero. Displacement cannot be zero. It is a false statement because displacement can be a zero. Second, its magnitude is greater than the distance traveled by the object. Well, again it is false because its magnitude is always either equal to distance or less than the distance traveled. So both the statements are false. Next set of question is distinguish between speed and velocity. So this is very important question. Again, in a difference between, it can be asked. Right now we will write only 2 points as it seems to be an objective question. So our first point is speed is a scalar quantity while velocity is a vector quantity. That means speed depends on direction, velocity depends on, speed does not depend on direction and velocity depends on direction. Second point, speed is always positive as we are taking distance, and velocity can be positive, negative or even zero. So that is why these 2 points are considered as the difference. Moving on to the next question. Second question is under what conditions is the magnitude of average velocity of an object is equal to average speed? Now remember, average velocity, total displacement upon total time. Average speed is total distance upon total time. If both are equal, that means distance has to be equal to displacement. That means object must travel only one time. So if the distance traveled by the object is equal to the displacement, then only the average velocity is equal to average speed. Clear? So this is the very simple answer. Next question is, what does the odometer of an automobile measure? So odometer of an automobile measures the distance traveled by the vehicle. Next, what does the path of an object looks like when it is in uniform motion? So you see, distance versus time graph, if you find, uniform motion will always look like a straight line. You see, if an object is in uniform motion, graphically the path will be a straight line. Clear? Next question, the last one from this set. During an experiment, a signal from a spaceship reached the ground station in 5 minutes. What was the distance of the spaceship from the ground station if the signal travels at the speed of light? So very simple concept is given, time is given and speed is given. So we will use the formula. We will first of all write down the speed, whatever it is given. Speed is 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. Time 5 minutes, that is 5 into 60, 300 seconds. Now using the formula speed equals to distance upon time, we have to find out the distance. So what we will do? We will take time with speed. That means distance will become speed into time. Now put the values. The values are 3 into 10 raised to 8 into 300 and that is 9 into 10 raised to 10 meter. Clear? So this was a very easy question, even though 3 into 10 raised to 8 seems to be hard and tough, but if you use the formula of speed, it will be very easy. Moving ahead to the next set of questions. Next question is, when will you say a body is in uniform acceleration and when will you say that the body is in non-uniform acceleration? So here you see equal change in velocity in equal interval of time. If an object is moving and its velocity is changing equally in equal interval of time, that means it is performing uniform acceleration. Now the same way vice versa, non-uniform acceleration, if the object is traveling unequal, that means unequal change in velocity in equal interval of time, then it is said to be in non-uniform acceleration. Next question. A bus decreases its speed from 80 km per hour to 60 km per hour in 5 seconds. So focus on what is given. Given is initial speed, that is 80 km per hour. Don't forget, we have to change this into meter per second. So 200 by 9 meter per second. Final speed 60 km per hour. We have converted into meter per second, 50 by 3 meter per second. The time taken was given 5 seconds. Now we have to find out the acceleration, that is v minus u by t. Putting all the values of v, that is 200 by 9 minus 50 by 3 upon 5, that is our time, the final answer after simplification you will get as minus 1.11 meter per second square. If you see the question carefully, the bus is decreasing the speed. That means negative sign will come because decrease in speed happens because of retardation. The next question. A train starting from a railway station and moving with uniform acceleration attains a speed 40 km per hour in 10 minutes. We have to find out the acceleration. Right? Now all these type of questions will appear very easy if you do two things. The first, you will make a list of given, then you have to remember the formulas. So even though we don't know anything about the solution, let us make the given list. First is starting from a railway station. That means initial speed will be 0. Then final speed 40 km per hour, that has to be converted, and that becomes 100 upon 9, that is 11.11 meter per second square. Sorry, you don't have to write square over here, you just write meter per second. So cancel these two, right? Time taken is 10 minutes, so 10 into 60, that is 600 seconds. We have to find out the acceleration, that is v minus u by t. Just put all the values because the initial speed is 0. That means 11.11 minus 0 will be 11.11 upon time is 600 seconds. That means the acceleration is 0.018 meter per second square. Note the unit of acceleration over here, just one correction is there. Second square must not be written. Instead we have only meter per second. Moving on to the next question. What is the nature of the distance versus time graph for uniform and non-uniform motion of an object? So just the nature, how the line is forming, you just see here. For uniform motion, distance versus time graph is a straight line. You can see over here. Okay. And the next set is for non-uniform. That means distance versus time graph is a curved line. That means it will not be a straight line. Second question is, what can you say about the motion of an object whose distance versus time graph is a straight line parallel to the time axis? That means you see over here, distance versus time graph I have drawn. If it is parallel to the time axis, the object's distance is not changing with time. That means the object is at rest. Clear? Moving on to the next question, that is, what can you say about the motion of an object if its speed versus time graph is a straight line parallel to time axis? That means over here you can see velocity is parallel the time axis and the graph is parallel. That means initially whatever the velocity was, it was having some value, means object was in motion at some velocity, and that is not changing as per the time. That means object is moving with a constant velocity. What is the quantity which is measured by the area occupied by the below the velocity versus time graph? So you see over here we have seen already this topic in our previous videos. What you will get by the area? Distance traveled by the object. Clear? Next, we have a bus starting from rest which moves with a uniform acceleration of 0.1 meter per second square for 2 minutes. We have to find out the speed and the distance traveled. So let us start with a given. Starting from the rest, that means initial velocity is 0 meter per second. Uniform acceleration 0.1 meter per second square. Time 2 minutes, that means 2 into 60, 120 seconds. What we are finding? Speed acquired, v, and distance traveled. So let us start with what we know, v equals to u plus at. We are finding v, we have u, a and t, putting all the values. You see u is 0, a is 0.1, t is 120. So what is 0.1 into 120? It is 12 meter per second. Very easy. Distance travel, we have a formula, s equals to ut plus half at square. We have all the values, so let us put all the values. u0 t 120 half 0.1 t square is 120 square. So first term will be whole 0. So the only term left is half into 0.1. 120 square is 14400. So if you simplify that, you will get 720 meter. Right? Next question. A train is traveling at a speed of 90 km per hour. So initial speed is given. We have to convert this 90 into meter per second. So that is 25 meter per second. Now brakes are applied. So uniform acceleration minus, that means retardation, is produced minus 0.5 meter per second square. Find how far the train will go before it is brought to rest. That means final velocity will be at rest 0, and we have to find out the distance. How far? Okay. So we will use the formula 2as equals to v square minus u square. In that we are finding s. So let us take 2a below v square minus u square. So just put the values. V square is 0, u is 25, a is minus 0.5. Minus 25 square is minus 625 upon 2 into 0.5 is minus 1. So minus minus cancel. 625 meter is our answer. A trolley while going down an inclined plane has an acceleration of 2 centimeter per second square. What will be its velocity? 3 seconds after the start. So here trolley is starting its motion. So initial velocity is 0. It attains an acceleration of 2 centimeter per second. So final velocity is not given. We are asked about final velocity. Acceleration 2 centimeter per second square divided by 100 to convert into meter per second square. We are finding velocity after 3 seconds. So time is 3 seconds. So we know that v equals to u plus at. We are finding v. Initial velocity is 0. Acceleration is 0.02 and t is 3. So what is 3 into 0.02? It will be 0.06 meter per second. Clear? Moving further. A racing car has a uniform acceleration of 4 meter per second square. What distance will it cover in 10 seconds after start? See, after start, that means initial velocity 0. Acceleration given 4 meter per second square. Time given 10 seconds. And distance travel we are finding. Clear? So every information is given. Now we know that s equals to ut plus half ad square. Putting all the values, u is 0, t is 10, half is repeated, acceleration 4, time square 10 square. First term will be 0 only. So half into 4 into 10 square is 100, and that will give you 200 meter answer. Right, see, these questions are very easy. Just you have to do two things: given list and formula. Moving on to the last question. A stone is thrown in a vertically upward direction. See, just remember, stone is thrown in vertically upward. That means initially you will have some velocity giving to stone. Stone will reach the height and then the velocity will become 0 and then it will fall down. Okay. So whatever height it had achieved, the stone, that will be its distance travel. Okay. Now acceleration downward direction is given. That means we have to take minus. Height attained will be our total distance. How much time t we will find. So let us prepare the given list. Initial velocity 5 meter per second, acceleration minus 10 as it is downward direction, final velocity 0 meter per second, height attained will be the distance traveled as question mark, and time taken question mark. So let us solve one by one. First of all, we know that 2s equals to v square minus u square. So let us go for finding s. So v square minus u square upon 2a. 2a will go below. What is v? V is 0. U square 5 square is minus 25. 2a 2 into minus 10. So ultimately it will be minus 25 upon minus 10. That means 1.25 meter. Moving ahead, time let us find. V equals to u plus at. So putting all the values, v is 0, u is 5, a is minus 10, t we are finding. Take this minus 10t on the other side, it will be 10t. Here 5 is repeated. So if 10t is 5, what is t? 5 by 10. That means 0.5 second. See, all the questions, if you are applying your mind and knowledge, will be very easy to solve. And that's it for this video. We have solved all the blue questions which were inside the textbook in the chapter. Hope the next exam will be very easy for you based on these questions.